The advice my mom gave me about fucking dudes is the craziest shit I've ever. I walked in and I was like 16. She was holding my best friend's arm like this when I walked in the kitchen, and I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Is there only a hole?
No, we'll go half. We'll go half.
No.
You want to go half on a
I
half?
can't go full half. I can't go.
Let's
full
go half on a
Sit
half.
here, so you're.
Oh yeah, half on a half. Ideal. Thank you.
I don't want to ice you out.
Oh.
So sit here.
What?
Why do I want to ice you out?
You're gonna ice me out no matter what.
No. Come on. Because I'll turn my back to you to talk to them, and I don't want to do that.
Really considerate of you.
I'm trying to be.
You're a really good guy.
Yeah, I know.
My best friend.
All right, now I'm sitting too far away.
Hello.
Oh, God. Dude, are we recording?
Yeah, we're going.
Oh.
This will probably all be in it.
Oh, yes! Yeah. I slept an hour and a half the other night. I could not fucking fall asleep. And then I was up till 3 a.m. auditioning for a role of man with thinning hair.
You had to work hard at that one?
Shut up, Kev! No, I was told, you might not get it because your hair's not thin enough. And I was
Hey,
like,
that's
all
a
I wanna
win.
hear.
Yeah, that must be like, all right, fucking
great.
But I had to be like, oh, God, ever since I turned 40, my hair's just been thinning out. Like, I'm not 40 and I still have my hair.
Things are good.
Is this for a role or a commercial?
For a show. For a TV show.
show.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you did the audition. You sent it in, or you went in?
I sent it in. They're not doing in-person auditions anymore because they're all fucking lazy
assholes.
and they don't want to
They'll
go in the
never come back.
office.
That's why
It's
so gay,
insane.
so annoying.
Insane. They're so fucking lazy at their job. And then also, we fucking do everything. By the way,
But please give
hire me.
Please give me.
They do everything they can to fuck us, and then it's not even fucking. Dude, I've gotten so close to getting so many things, and then at the last second, they're like, "Oh, we wrote your character for an 11-year-old girl," and I'm like, "That's who I am on the inside. Let's make it work."
But that's how it is now with even my buddy who was up for a job at the New York Times. They keep you as all the way up until you and somebody else. Yeah, but they want you to be roped in just in case that person says no.
Sure.
Yeah, because they get off on giving us hope.
It's like playing the field. It's like being
Yeah.
single. Like I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna turn any of you down.
I gotta
I'm
make
gonna
everybody
stall
feel
you.
special.
Yeah.
I have to get better at that. I'm so bad. I immediately at dating multiple people and making them all feel. I'm always like, "You're number 2," just so you know.
You are way on the back burner.
I'm like on my phone the whole time for number 1. I'm like, what do you think I should say to number 1?
That legit happened last year. She was like dating a guy, kind of. And she showed up just like, wow. Like, what's wrong? She's like, he said he was going to go bowl with his friends, so I'm going to go on a date with another guy. Like, you are. See you next Tuesday.
I can't even. The world has got to be so fucked now with.
Dude, I was thinking about that. About like, dude, marriage used to be like so easy
So glad I
and
sat
cool
here.
because why?
Because imagine where I would be right now. If
You'd
you
be
were
sitting with computer guy.
there with your hip.
Yeah. I know. I'd be just icing you out. Sorry.
You look like the guy from Mario Monsters who holds his eyeballs in his hair. That is who you look like. Dude.
That's what we should audition for.
Yeah, a fucking monster. That's great. I'm glad I came here. You bitch. Fucking
Marriage was cool and
It
easy.
used to be so easy because you met someone and then you met 5 other people for the rest of your life. And then now it's just fucking hot things at you all the time.
Bro,
and then I see a butt model and I'm like, if I give a fire emoji, maybe they'll like me.
and it's like kind of possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I know.
the
fire
top
emoji.
butt models, no, but like the middle of the road ones, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I used to know, one person who was like, she's the prettiest girl I probably ever will meet.
Yeah.
It used to
And
be
she's
like,
cool.
And then you got out of the Holland Tunnel and you're like, never mind. Look at this. New
Realistically,
York.
before you got married, like back in the day, you probably met like 7
People.
capable partners.
Yes.
Right? Like you're talking about all the men you've met, right? You cut that in half. Mm-hmm. Lesbians, whatever, cut that in half. People who like aren't your attractive level, cut that in half. And like you probably met like 7 people who you're like, okay, we actually are like.
And so you
on
can
the same type
and then it's like,
level
do
here.
you tolerate me? Oh, we whittle it down to like
Yeah.
one person.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get married.
I
And
don't.
now
I
it's
feel like you meet less people now.
What?
meeting
But you
is different.
see them,
What,
but you see-
you have
yeah.
putting access.
You see
You're
them and have
aware of them.
access.
Oh,
Access.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the
All that
apps,
shit.
that's such a, it's a synthetic
No,
communication.
yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
Yeah, but
it's
it
not-
didn't
I don't-
exist
that's
before.
Not, but I don't just mean like, oh, you DM for a little bit. I'm saying like, I think it's harder to date now because everybody is so, there's such a no new friends mentality. Whereas I
Yeah.
feel like in the 40s, it was like, what's your name, Shock? But now it's like,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's so much access
you
to
have
people
pussy
that
flying
you can.
at you.
Yes,
more.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Especially since I got that blue check on Instagram.
Watch out. You got it on Twitter?
the chuckle fucks
Elon's
though are
gonna come take it
ruining
away, bro.
people's lives. They are ruining people's lives.
Chuckle fuckers?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
3 of my buddies recently have been like, have showed me just novels of somebody
oh.
being like, ah! And you're like, dude, I can't.
Yeah.
I sometimes
play
am
with
pretty
that.
surprised at. I guess I'm not surprised because I just understand the world. But the level of women that some comics get, I'm like,
It's unreal. It's
Dude,
unreal.
I've gotten
Really?
Dave
Like, you
Attell
pretty
roll
tell-
off. In Tennessee, I got a blowjob because some chick couldn't get a tell, and I was like, meh.
close enough.
Yeah, and I had a voiceover audition due the next day, so I hid under a blanket while she watched Forensic Files next to me and did my voiceover in my phone,
the fuck
and I got
up.
sucked off in the shower. High five.
What goes through that girl's head?
I
You know what I mean?
I'm just
Besides your
explicitly
dick.
talking about you.
Being Ian with Jordan.
I'm almost explicitly talking about you, Ian. Well, it's incredible.
What?
Just that, like, you'll fuck like very beautiful women. It's crazy.
I know. Because I look
is
like all their
crazy.
dads. So it works out. You know?
You hate that? Is that like a?
That
Wait.
men get so much. I live with 2 very hot male comics.
Okay.
And it is frustrating to watch first of all, it's not just the DMs, it's like a line of women waiting outside for them to like be, you know what I mean? And then they're like, your show was great. And then you'll see them go over to like another comic that they are doing that as well. And they have like all their bases covered
Like a
in the
system.
cellar.
Yeah,
Yeah. They have a
yeah.
system. One night, one of my buddies like made out with a girl and then the other guy, and then they all accidentally ran into each other with the girl in the middle, and she just had to like be like, well, and disappear into darkness behind her. But it
They're
is
like,
like,
well, our
Homer
cocks are
Simpson
out.
into-
Why don't we just kind of make this happen?
and it happens to women. It just happens in a way that's like, it's like, first of all, it's like incels. It's also like weird for me. It's like weird dudes with like Sublime shirts and like maybe maybe like etnies. I'm saying full etnies. I'm going hard etnies.
Lucky gal. Let me
Wow.
tell
But
you.
then the other thing is that there's like a, hey, I'm upstairs.
You get guys
come
that
join me
got-
for a drink, and it's like for a woman that's so different to go do.
Fact.
If I went and did that, it would be the most sad, desperate.
You get
Yeah.
guys
Also,
that,
you probably end
that
up, like,
were
dying.
like into Jackass in high school and all have head injuries from like pushing themselves in shopping carts.
No, that's what I'm into.
I was gonna say, what's up?
That is what I'm looking for. Like guys who self-identify as the kid, that is who I do. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean more like.
So wait, if you get hit up by a guy who's like, love your comedy,
I'm at the Olive Tree. Join me for a drink.
yeah, you won't
Fuck
do it.
no.
Yeah.
Because we're not motivated, or at least I'm not at all motivated by looks. So even if they're hot, then I'm like, well, I don't want to talk to a hot person because they're retarded.
Shallow and-
yeah. And then if they're not hot, then I'm like, I don't want to talk to an uggo.
Well, now you gotta, you know.
Wow.
gotta
The
break somewhere.
intellectual's dilemma. You know?
So who are you looking for?
Yeah.
If it's somebody in a band, I'll talk to them.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
dude,
main
she's a
thing.
band.
So then
chick.
you just become the groupie though.
That's better. That's better. I would rather be that
the
than then
groupie
be
than
like,
the groupette,
what's
the
your
grouper?"
favorite comic? I love Aziz Ansari, and I have to fucking run a poll through my account.
Yeah, see, at least the girls are like shallow. They're just like, hey, you're on stage and you seem to be popular and have power. I'll fuck you. Whereas the guys are gonna be like, let's talk about comedy for hours.
Oh,
Like,
God,
also-
who's your favorite
yeah,
comic? and what do you like
yeah.
to do? You know. it's
Also,
like,
the
Oh.
guys will like be like, dude, I think you're so funny. You're great. Hey, can I fuck? Like they
Yeah.
use the like whatever, and then girls just kind of go in and be flirty off the bat.
Sure.
And a lot of them will send voice note like novels.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I have this one chick that just keeps sending voice notes. I don't even respond, and it's
saying
just
like talking dirty and
like,
shit. Or
no,
like,
no, no.
talking?
Just about like an Instagram story I posted. Or like,
oh,
I
boy.
heard you say this on a podcast. Blah 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 blah. But then like, yeah.
I'm
terrible.
I'm so disappointed by my gender every time.
But God, yeah, me too.
I'm
Really
so
bad.
in our
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
fucking
bad.
species.
But then girls will get guys that hit on them, and then when the girl doesn't respond, they'll be like, "You fucking bitch!
Yeah.
I don't like you anyway."
Dude, it's
cunt."
like, hey, I love your comedy so much, and I'm like, I like heart it or something, and they're like, oh, no response, you're a whore.
Yeah,
You're a whore.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
nuts.
Where women are so psychotic, they'll just keep going.
Right.
Well,
my
yeah, that-
my responses are always a lot sadder than like you're a whore. Mine like when you get like a picture DMT or something like that, and I struggle so badly responding. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Read
Like,
the Adam Levine.
it'll be a caps lock like
Fuck.
sheesh.
That's
Awooga.
Listen, when that
And then
when
it's
that went
sadder for
viral,
them because
It's way sad.
Yeah.
It would be better to ignore it.
well,
But
because
all I
they're
can
getting
do-
kind of rejected by a guy that wakes up with food stuck to him. You know,
Totally.
crumbs in the bed.
This episode is brought to you by, obviously, WhistlePig whiskey. It is. I'm currently drinking it right now. If you're watching on the YouTube, subscribe. And also, I'm currently drinking it at this moment. I'm drinking our own barrel, actually, which we were not supposed to open, but we have opened, and now is about 3/4 of the way gone. It is incredibly delicious. It comes out November 11th, right? 11/11, you can buy the KFC Radio barrel of rye whiskey. It is truly delicious. It is spicy. It is smoky. I can't wait until you see why we keep calling it that, because we fucked up. It is unbelievable whiskey. It is absolutely delicious. It is. We chose it. We chose what we liked the most. We worked with the distillers. So we worked with people who actually know what they're talking about, but it is incredible. It is WhistlePig whiskey. It's just the best in the business. There is nothing better than WhistlePig whiskey. Every time I tell someone that we work with WhistlePig, they do not believe me because it is such a high-end brand, and somehow they have lowered their standards to work with KFC Radio. And not only lowered their standards to work with us, lowered their standards to give us our own fucking barrel of whiskey. Like, not barrel, but barrels we've chosen. They will go on sale 11/11. Make sure you buy them. It is 100% single rye barrel. It's a medley of fresh ground cinnamon, allspice berries, and roasted cedar. Excuse me. It has very subtle notes of brown sugar on the finish. It is absolutely delicious. Click the link in the YouTube description to sign up and get alerted when it's live. WhistlePig, you're the best in the business, baby.
when that went viral, when like Black Twitter had a field day with white boys flirting with Adam Levine, all of the white girls I spoke to were like, no, we love that. So I'm sticking to my game.
Yeah.
The black
Whoa.
Wait, what are they
fuck. Like so Adam Levine was flirting with his mistress.
Oh,
and
yes,
everything was like fuck, like cap locks, like your body, fuck, it's so hot.
That's
oh
such
my
a-
god,
that's what
fuck
we
me.
do.
Yeah.
It's
and
all
everyone
I
else
have.
talked to
Supposed to
was
say.
like-
All I
they were
have.
like, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I got in my repertoire.
What else
so.
are we supposed to say? Oh, your areola is so
Right, it's just a,
nice.
it's a genuine like.
Just stop. No. Don't finish the
Don't
sentence.
even give anybody any ideas. Ian.
I don't know what you're supposed to say. Yeah, I would
Well,
like
that's the
to all
problem.
caps
It's not
lock.
I turn into a
thing.
cartoon dog. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tongue rolls out down the steps.
What do black people say? God damn.
So we had Miss Pat in when this was
yeah, that's
happening.
right.
And her crew was like, I was like, so what should we say? And it was like, let me see what that pussy pop do.
It was like, girl, what that mouth do?
Yeah, like show me what that show me.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
show me
Can't
how
say
that
that,
mouth, show me
dude.
how that
Yeah.
mouth hit.
Jesus.
Well, if they show a picture of the tits, be
Jesus.
like, God damn, let me see what that ass working with.
Yeah, it's very like
You would
they want to
never
be blunt.
say that.
I've said it.
You would be like, let me see your bum.
No, I would. I'm not.
Let me see your
fucking
Heineken bottom.
Englishman.
Let me see your rear
You don't
end.
know how I dirty talk. I talk it.
I do not want to know.
I mean,
I could see.
I'm
you saying
curious.
some
I wanna know.
downright awful things.
I've heard
I'm a
about sex.
dirty Delaware dick dog.
So loud.
So loud.
You're loud?
Insane.
Yeah.
You're a loud fucker?
Yeah.
Oh, I am.
Well, we
you
had-
think I'm mute, dude.
Oh,
Yeah, her hotel room was next to mine, and I brought my ex-girlfriend, and the walls were thin.
I was just in my room screaming, screaming, running in circles.
Yeah.
Just
And
hiding
then
under
sometimes
the
on the
mattress.
road, we'll share a hotel room. and then I'll make her watch Forensic Files while I eat candy until 2 in the morning. It's fun, right?
I found
How
a
in
picture
the
of us on
world-
the phone with you watching Forensic Files, and I reached my hand over, and you didn't stop watching Forensic Files, and you just reached it and held my
That's it. Platonic partners for life.
really
Right there.
It's the best. It's the best.
How in the world have you hitched your wagon to this one? Jesus Christ. What an
I
idea that
opened
was.
for him back in the day. We
Yeah,
went
years ago.
Yeah,
in
years
Philly.
ago. And then we...
Are you from Philly also?
No, I'm from Ithaca.
Okay.
I don't know how we saw each other. We were both crazy and manic and
Yeah.
into punk.
I
and-
saw you like at open mics and you were so funny.
Yeah,
And I
same.
had like a gig in Philly and I was like, do you want to come? And you had a truck.
Yeah,
And we
that's
could
right.
smoke in your truck.
Oh, we both smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
You had a truck. I would love to be like, what was it that what sparked the friendship?
You were
had a truck.
crazy back then. I remember being like,
Back
this dude's
then.
gonna like
Yeah, no, I could imagine.
What?
blow my gasket.
I thought we were having fun.
You were so like you were
I know.
really manic. It
I was real
crazy.
spazzy. I've gotten
I
a lot
can't-
better.
You've gotten so much,
Which is
Wow.
crazy
Thank
because you're
you.
still off the walls.
It's
man.
I've learned how to harness it.
Yeah, you come in like a Tasmanian devil.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you actually are more like calm, even from the first time we met you on Nikki's show, right?
I mean, on
Yeah.
Nikki's show, I was like, blah, blah, blah,
I know.
blah.
I know.
Thing off the walls, and I was
I'm
like,
best in small doses.
I mean, it's very
no,
complimentary.
no.
Very funny.
Now you're like, before you were like this. Okay, a hammer drill goes like this into a wall, and it goes like this and like this. And before you were going like this and like this, and now you're just going like this. But it would be like we were driving, and I would look, and your whole body would just be
Vibrating,
like
yeah.
gyrating.
I know.
And now you're way. It's very
Thank you.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just describe how
Yeah.
a hammer drill works?
Yeah.
She used to be a carpenter.
Oh, that's right. I knew that. I didn't know
Oh
that.
yeah, that's also how we bonded.
Dead dads, carpenters.
And then we have dead dads. We're both into
dads,
punk.
carpenters, and a truck.
A truck
Yeah.
you smoke
Mentally
in.
And
ill.
she's a fucking nutcase too.
Yeah.
Don't fucking
I
throw
am
me
such a
under the
nutcase.
bus.
I mean, anybody.
okay?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
You
And
guys are both
then
crazy.
we did a test run podcast with a buddy of ours,
Oh my god.
and we had so much fun. And then
Cut the
he
third
was
out.
like a fucking dickhead.
He was a
and
dickhead the whole
sucked. And in
time.
he like insulted her. I was like, "Hey, watch your fucking mouth, man!" And then we like had to end the podcast.
And then me and
Wow.
him were like, we both have to go deal with our breakups that are happening simultaneously,
Oh, yeah.
constantly in them.
Yeah. And then she had a construction job, and she had to have what'd you have, like a hysterectomy or something? Something happened to you?
I had cyst removed.
Ugh.
Jesus Christ, we jumped from cyst to hysterectomy. Who the fuck-
Hysterectomy. I wish I got a hysterectomy.
And then so I
Please take
did
this thing.
I did a construction job for her,
Ah,
and yeah.
wow.
And then we just stayed friends.
That's a deeper story than most. When it's like,
Yeah.
how did you guys start the podcast? Like, I don't know. we
Yeah,
watched
and it was really cool. We did Cellar Vegas together last year, and we went to Red Rocks. And
Man, I guess I just never. I've just heard about Red Rocks more in the past 2 years than I've ever fucking heard about Red
Really?
Rocks in my life.
yeah,
Oh,
everybody's playing
I think
there.
because of OAR, I knew Red Rocks a
Yeah.
lot. Like OAR loves Red
I,
Rocks.
I guess just as I got
Don't
more
you
into
owe
comedy.
me.
It's 3 a.m. and I want to go to bed.
Listen, you speak ill on OAR, we'll kick you out right now.
No, I loved OAR.
Loved?
Drop the D. Drop
Well,
the D.
I'm not even kidding. Their new album is very good.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like the way you guys
Yeah,
talk
they're
about
coming at it.
OAR is the way I talk about ska.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Yep. I kind of ska is you know
I love ska too,
it's-
though.
I do love ska. It's super embarrassing to love, but it's awesome.
Yeah, dude. When
It's
my
definitely the most
when my-
embarrassing music to like.
when my ex left me
Put your eyeballs down.
and when my ex,
His shoulders. That's why you look so jacked. His arms are always up.
I know.
I wish we had just gotten you 2 eyeballs for Halloween.
Yeah, that
would've
would
been
be
so
it, man.
good.
Oh yeah, I
Next
was a
year.
hot dog though.
That's good.
A lot of hot dogs are out there this year.
Yeah, me,
No,
DeStefano,
they-
one
DeRosa,
outfit.
her, and I shared
It was all
all
the
the
same
same
one.
outfit. Yeah,
Disgusting.
So
it
gross.
was
I
gross.
was the last
Wait,
one.
are
and
you
it
are you
reeked.
serious?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Yeah, it was great.
Really smart.
Because
It
I
was
mean,
awesome.
I my costume was soaked in sweat after one wear. If
Oh,
I was
yeah.
sharing it with someone else, that would be vile.
Yeah, it was terrible. But when my ex left me, she goes, and by the way, just so you know, I hate ska.
No.
And I was like,
That's actually the meanest.
Just
thing
tell me
you
I have a
can say.
little dick. God damn it.
Just be normal. Say that I'm gay and I don't fuck good.
but in the
don't
car you
disrespect
said you
ska.
liked it. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious.
She had the worst music taste, though.
Yeah.
Really
All of her
horrendous.
music sounded like it was like, I don't know, like a lesbian on her period making soup. Like it was just
I
like
would just have to
sad
sit there with them
whispering.
fighting.
Lot
and
of
be
Lilith
like, will you
there.
please turn off your stepfather whispering that he's going to molest you?
Yeah. And then, because we all went on a road gig together, a buddy of mine was like, dude, you got to listen to this podcast called Human Monsters. It's
God,
great. You know,
shut the
like all these
fuck
murder
up.
things.
My God.
Yo, this was next level, worst, like, predator murder podcast I've ever heard in my life, because the guy
Monsters,
interviewed a
yeah.
woman that was like sexually abused, and then like something happened, but it was a phone interview, and he was like, so what did it feel like when his fingers would go in your pussy?
It was insane. It was like an autistic
What?
person being like, and we're reading you say, I want to stick my big dick into his tiny ass. How did you feel when you stuck your big
Dude,
dick?
it was
And
the
you're
most
like,
vulgar, like abrasive, like specific thing. And then because they were on a phone call, it was like, okay, so I have to go grocery shopping.
my bit.
We
You're
will
just-
talk about it later. That's not your bit.
Yeah.
Do you have that bit?
Yes, you
we
got that.
talked about it, and then you turned it into a
At the
bit.
cellar, you were sitting on the stairs, and I was like, remember at the end how they would hang up?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, I have to call my mom. I gotta go, buddy. Bye.
Oh, did you do that on stage?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So someone once said, "Is that working?"
Yeah, I do that shit all the time.
Oh yeah, I know. You hear so much comedy, and then you're like, dude, the other day I texted a bunch of friends. I was like, "Does anyone have this bit?" And they're like, "No."
All of us.
And I was like, "Wow, I congrats, man. You've had an original thought."
Yeah.
Actually, I just watched the latest thing you put up. I thought it was a good original thought. Was the airplane?
That's
Oh,
my
man.
bit.
Shut up.
No, okay.
That
The
is a
bisexual
very
one has crossover.
weird. Like, yeah, like we're just gonna pack a couple hundred people in here and go up there, and everybody be cool.
Yeah, it's nuts.
There's definitely just statistically speaking, a couple hundred people. One or two of those people are psychotic.
Nobody
and
goes
two or three
nuts.
of those people are assholes, and 4 or 5 of those people are loudmouths. And but for the most part, when you consider how many flights fly a day, it's like a 99% success rate.
It's crazy. Nobody takes a shit on the airplane. Nobody even has like a loud Tourette's outbreak.
Yeah,
It never happens.
Right.
Well, why is it there are no laws on international waters, but up in the sky, everyone's like, I'm a good citizen.
Yeah, what is
Yeah,
with
right.
that?
Right?
It is
Wouldn't that be the
crazy.
place
Just
to like
everybody-
go nuts?
Sometimes I think they release something.
in the circulated air.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I've
It does
never
knock
heard
me
people
out
get
quick.
into a fight.
Well, because flying is so important for like commerce and travel. If you fuck up flying, you're fucked for
Yeah,
a long
really.
time.
It's
So
almost like
everyone's
society
like,
agrees that we can't fuck this one up.
those like rules of like, if you fuck up on this flight, you're not going to be able to fly for a long time. Is almost like religion of like, well, I better not sin so I can go to heaven.
I say the same thing about traffic rules. Like you think about how many people are just like, I'm gonna break the law and murder someone, but then I'll get in my car and I'll like do a full stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
totally.
you'll follow the.
Well, if
the
I'm running
yield
late,
sign
sometimes I
rather-
would use like red lights as stop signs.
Well, yeah.
I read
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
red light on the way here on my motorcycle. But
After a little word from our sponsor, Gametime. Gametime is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. They guarantee the lowest price. If you haven't given Gametime a shot yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. You guys are going to love the app. It is what we all use to go to games. If you've seen a Barstool person at a game recently, it's because of Gametime. If you are someone in the Philadelphia area, I was just talking about this with Kevin, you have to be in the building for these games. This is, I watched Game 3 last night. You have to be in the building for these games. Those games there's stuff you talk about forever. I mean, like we were talking about it. I was talking about when I was at the 2014 AFC Championship. I was talking about when I was at 2011 Game 3 Stanley Cup Final. When you are in the building, that is a literal lifetime story. Okay? Gametime can get that for you at the cheapest possible price. Download the Gametime app, go to the account tab, create a login, and redeem code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Gametime. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. You have to be in the building. It is. There has this been shift recently in like, oh, it's better to watch games on TV. No, it's not. It's better to be in the building. Be in the building, create a memory. thanks to Gametime. Again, go to the Gametime app, download the account tab, create a login, redeem code KFC for $20 off your first purchase.
But it is really weird. Society is bizarre. I mean,
Like the rules that you choose to and choose not to follow.
So we all went to Pride Parade, and no, you
was
weren't
not
there.
there, yeah.
I was there.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Kevin's
Fights was.
homophobic.
He was
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
poppers.
I hate gays.
And then I went to the Halloween parade, and me and homeless
This motherfucker
Pimp-
didn't know about the Halloween parade. He goes, "Is there some sort of Greenwich Village thing going on Halloween?" I was like, yeah.
Dude,
Like,
my
the
mom
biggest
didn't
goddamn
either.
parade ever.
Yo,
My mom was like,
I
were
live-
people
like,
dressed
Well,
up?
It's your mom. I
Yeah,
don't
they're
know,
both
like,
out of touch Looney Tunes.
There you go. Yeah.
I live like a literal block and a half from where like so I turn the TV on and NY1 comes on right away.
Yeah, so I love him.
and
out
it was just
NY1.
like this massive parade, and it zoomed out and I saw the streets and I was like, wait,
That's my block.
that's where I live. And they're like, there are 1 million people out here, and I was like, is there a big West Village Halloween parade? They were interviewing people from like Germany and Brazil who like flew in for it.
What?
And
there's like Batmans who go together. You know.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I always thought it was just people in outfits going places in New York. I didn't realize it was an actual parade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's the old joke. Is like, is it Halloween or is it just New York? Because sometimes
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
are you here for the parade or are you just like on
Well,
your commute?
dude,
Yeah.
so me and Homeless Pimp did like interviews and stuff at Pride, and then we did it at Halloween Parade. And dude, everyone was so nice and friendly and fun, and let's talk, hug. Oh my god, happy.
Right.
And then the very next day, everyone's like, "Get out of my face, you fucking piece of shit." It's like, why can't we act like every day is a parade?
For real.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wouldn't life be better if every day was a parade?
Let's act like every day is the day after 9/11.
All we're talking about is just we're just
That was
saying-
when America was together, dude.
9/12/2001 was the best.
That was a
Let's all get
day.
together and hate
Minus a
anyone that's
handful of
brown.
families.
Let's everyone get together and then start a rumor that the Indian kid that just so happened to be absent on 9/11 knew about it for some reason. Then he's got to come back to school and no one lets him in the debate club. Let's act like every day's like that.
Isn't it weird that they made us watch it? That they pulled, at least in my school, they pulled in a big TV. And
Did they?
Yeah.
Exactly. Did
Why
that.
wouldn't they? It's like the
weird.
It
most
was like-
historic event you could ever be
Okay,
alive
first
for.
of all, I was
How
in
old were you?
5th grade.
Oh, yeah.
And-
how old were you guys?
I was in 8th.
I was 37.
I was in junior year of high school.
It should
so
have been
was I.
junior high school. I get it. Middle school, I get it. Elementary school to have
That's
the
crazy.
crying
Oh,
teacher
that's crazy.
pulling the
That is
and
not.
just
that-
be like,
yeah.
"This is
Look,
happening,"
children.
and you're like,
And the
"Here,
building's
Check it out,
Yeah.
kids.
Is
The
that
second
right?
one's about to hit.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
that-
Meanwhile,
that
like
is-
kids
We
your
I
age.
just like knew to go home. I
Yeah.
just like left school and went home. I think it was like
Oh,
around
I see.
They
lunchtime.
probably
I was
sent
too
you
young
home.
to like.
I
feel
went to the
like-
chapel and prayed because I was like, the world is ending. I was like all those pray guys at the end of Ghostbusters that were like, oh, the end of the world. I was like, I need to atone.
I was like,
weird.
we're definitely gonna get school off tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
They can't make us come in tomorrow, right? This is
I made a
crazy.
game out of it on the playground where I would pretend that we were going to get bombed and we would all hide under the playground and I'd be like, "It's 9/11," and we'd get under the.
What?
Yeah, me
It was
too.
so fun.
See why we get
I was
along
just
so
gonna say,
well?
Did you call the game?
It sounds
9/11?
awesome.
The funnest.
Did you say like, "Hey guys, let's play 9/11"?
I think I called it like terrorist. I'm
Oh my
serious.
God.
I think
We
I
played a
called it
game
terrorist.
called Guns.
Yeah.
It's called Guns, and we ran around the neighborhood with fake guns.
I made the best games. Freeze tag, where you had to give somebody a kiss in order to get unfrozen.
You
I
were
was an ugly kid.
You were a child molester child. That's a crazy game.
You had to date me and
I
love me
wanted
to get
be
unfrozen.
kissed
Yeah.
so bad.
Oh, free Jordan's just running like the guy at the end of Terminator, trying to tag people. Tag, you're it. Love me. Oh no, she's morphing.
Puts a needle through her. Oh man, that's great. That is hilarious.
Terminator is so good.
Yeah. Some kid gets picked up in carpool. She latches onto the back. He's getting dragged.
Falling doors open.
Yeah.
Some kid's backpack. Got you. Oh, really good. Oh, Terminator really is so good.
That was a great quick subject change from Terrorist the game.
Yep.
Terrorist.
Terrorist the game does sound dope, just to be
Oh
clear.
my
Just
God.
not,
so
maybe.
fun. Such a fun game. There were other
I
games
can
I
just
made
picture you
up.
just screaming on the playground. It's 9/11.
Yeah. Bounce.
Kids hiding under mulch.
Mulch. We dig under the mulch. It was so fun because I think they were sending like helicopters There were like helicopters in the following days. Remember that?
Yes,
Oh,
they
I
were
live in
watching
here.
the skies.
So I would pretend they had bombs, and I would tell all the kids, I'd be like, "See that? That's a bomb."
What kind of fucking sick, twisted mind do you have?
Where was this?
This was in Ithaca, so upstate.
Oh yeah, she grew up in a barn with like
Yeah.
cat sisters.
Ithaca's got to
or
be
something.
like the worst place in the world, no? Or do you like?
Isn't that the
Ithaca?
suicide capital?
What?
No way, really?
Cornell?
Yes.
Cornell
Cornell.
school. Has the
Cornell's
highest
in Ithaca.
Suicide rate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yes.
Alaska
and a lot
is
of
the-
look it up.
I think it's a college thing.
The
Ithaca
Asians
has
get a B
lots
on
of
their
suicide.
test
I
and
was
they
gonna say,
jump
that's-
off the
yeah.
gorge.
That's some
I-
Ivy League shit. Like I would imagine Harvard's pretty common.
I want to
No,
say
the
it's-
reason is because
Ithaca
we have
is gorgeous.
It's because we have giant pits that go gorges that go into
Yes,
death,
yes.
and we also it has the highest acceptance of Asians. So the Asian kids will get a B and just plummet to their death.
In the
Oh
beginning
my
of the
God.
1970s, a high-profile
Or
cluster
don't
of
like it.
6 suicides.
6? That's not so bad.
Yeah, wait.
6?
Dude, when I went to
But then it
NYU
says in the 2009 to 2010 school year, so I don't know what the
Yo,
fuck that
bro,
means.
when I went to NYU my freshman year, all these kids were jumping off the balconies in the library.
I remember that.
And they had to put up these barriers.
My friend-
but
yeah.
Yeah, we have
there
that.
was so you know the Harvard Lampoon.
Yeah,
yeah. So NYU had one of those called like the Plague or whatever, and I'll never forget. I got a bunch of copies. The cover of the Plague that month was a girl with her wrists all cut up.
Stop, oh,
and
fake.
then there was a story about it because it was like a satire publication, and there was a picture of the library with Jerry Seinfeld falling upside down, and it said, "What's the deal with all these suicides?" It was
gotta get that
incredible.
poster.
Yo,
I have it in my mom's house.
You have that poster?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Bring that into the
Yeah.
studio.
yeah,
That's so good.
That is very
It was
cool.
incredible.
gold.
It was incredible. Yeah.
That
Isn't that
makes me
great?
think of my favorite piece of merch I ever saw at a concert. I went to a Fall Out Boy show in like 07, 06, something like that.
Oh, that was prime Fallout
yeah,
Boy.
prime Fall Out
Before
Boy.
Pete Wentz jerked off in a parking lot on Xanax. You remember that?
I don't
Yeah.
know that. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I didn't know that either.
Look it up.
I believe you.
I also know
But
Christopher Walken killed a woman.
what?
On a
He
boat.
didn't kill a woman. Don't start that
Him,
rumor.
Christopher Walken.
He was
to
on a boat when a woman died. That
Yeah,
doesn't mean he killed a woman.
Okay, I know.
How'd she die? Did she get shot?
She fell off.
But I didn't know anything about that. Isn't that
I-
crazy? Does that
I've
sound like
never
something we
heard
would know
Once
that.
you
about
said boat, something.
Oh,
triggered.
really? Okay.
It's kind of like the Broderick, like the Broderick.
Matthew
I
Broderick.
learned that
He
like
killed
5 years ago.
What?
Oh yeah, he
Matthew
killed
Broderick
someone in
was
his
just
Oh,
like
car.
straight up-
actually killed
Like it was like
someone.
a
Yeah.
yeah. He ran away. I
And he
think
got like.
Was he drunk?
I would imagine so, but he was in England and it doesn't count there.
It was like he got like a movie.
So did Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right,
So
Caitlyn
did
Jenner. remember.
Brandy.
Brandy?
Brandy killed the guy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Vehicular manslaughter, probably. I think it was.
Who cares about
Whoa.
Brandy? Why are you guys freaking out about that?
Yeah, we both got really excited about Brandy.
That was
I know.
crazy.
Like I
Both
was
of
a
them were
dear
like, "No,
friend with Brandy. Not my
Crazy.
Brandy.
That's nuts. That's nuts. Cinderella Brandy?
It is crazy though that we just rattled off like 4 or 5 people real quick that killed people and had nothing happen.
It is crazy.
Like,
Yeah,
no
because
punishment,
they
I
have
think, at all.
money.
Money.
I
Yeah.
know, but like at some point, like I don't think Brandy is famous enough to be able to kill someone and get away with it.
It has
And I was
nothing
wrong.
to do with fame. It has to do with money.
But well, then I think.
And
that
it just so
Brandy's not
happens
rich enough
famous
to-
people have money.
Yeah.
Don't they just put like doesn't everybody just get released to at home jail?
Yeah.
Bro,
Probably.
I
You go to, like,
when
therapy and
you
your
when I worked in a
ankle
halfway
bracelet. Which is
house.
the best, by the way.
That's
like,
the best.
oh, don't leave your house for like a year.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah, we
good,
already
man.
did that during
Yeah, it was
COVID, and everyone lost their fucking mind. What are you talking
Oh, I
about?
loved it.
I loved it.
Speak
I
for yourself,
hated
bro.
it. What?
Oh, my boys. Just hanging out with the boys.
Oh yeah, you had a good roommate situation.
Yeah.
I had Craigslist roommates
all
that
went to a
stayed in the
party.
rooms the entire time.
Yeah, well, that sucks.
Yeah,
It was great
so
for
many
me.
shows over the pandemic.
Oh yeah, that saved me. Holy moly, guacamole!
We got super close over the pandemic.
Yes.
Because me and you were
That's right.
drug addicts. And
Yeah.
Doing all the,
Well, I was ex. You were doing it.
no, not drug addicts, but you know what I mean, for the comedy. And we would do
Oh,
every
yeah, yeah,
single
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Even
yeah, it
that
was
4
wild.
p.m. one on a...
Oh, on a roof.
Yeah.
At like an art collective.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
sounds
fucking
awful.
nuts, dude.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, and the guy who ran it is like a DJ, but he's a comic, but he's bisexual.
Oh, it's
and
a
then like
Bushwick.
every time he brings me on stage, he's like, "I hate this next comic because I want to be the bisexual comic."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, fucking kill
Die.
yourself."
The pandemic was
die,
good
you
for
bisexual.
comedy, at least for me.
Oh my
I
god,
got,
the
I got way
pandemic
better.
was
Dude,
the best thing in the world.
it made me
for
such a better
the comedy
comic.
Yeah.
industry.
It made me
exploded
such a better
over the
comic
pandemic.
because, like, dude, half the times we didn't have microphones, so I had to like learn like how to move around. It made me feel so much more comfortable, like moving around and being wild and crazy. And half the time, I was like, I'm not doing jokes. I'm just gonna talk about whatever, and then I'd walk through the crap because it was like, dude, I would do these Zoom shows and people would just read off their jokes. I'm like, what?
Did you know Jake, who features for me, Jake Velasquez, very funny comic? Me and him we didn't know each other then, but we both saw you at the Tiny Cupboard and have your religious set.
Oh, no shit.
That was the craziest. Ian had a set on top of the Tiny Cupboard that was like, it was like next level comedy. I mean, I was like I was on a date with a guy and I was like snotting and crying and like spewing, and I like turned to look at him and he was also, and I was like, hell yeah. And he like, the train went by and he was talking about his dead dad, but then somebody released a balloon and he had a call back to the and we were just like, this is, which
Through
is
like
what,
a perfect game. Like it was,
oh my
Yeah,
God.
it was awesome.
It was fucking
Thanks.
And you had just come up to me and you were like, I'm going through a breakup. I want to kill myself. I don't even
Oh,
know why
yeah,
I'm here."
yeah.
Chain smoking, and then you just go up and annihilate.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Did you know what she's talking about? Can you
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that set?
yeah,
Did you
yeah.
know in the moment you were doing it? Like you were doing that well?
Yeah, I mean, I was just like going.
I've
But
always wondered
that
'cause,
was like
like,
a
so much-
moment where I was like, just stay in that
I had
moment of
that
being
last
like
night. Yeah.
insane.
I had that last night at the VU, and I think it's because with all the sadness, that's
Yeah.
where the thriving happens.
Yeah, it's weird when shit's like
depression
going.
comes.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
I have
funny
to.
and creativity.
I create better when everything's good and I'm happy and things are great. Like that is the mode for me to feel good and be wonderful and like progress. But when things are bad, going on stage, like harnessing that in some weird, and that's the same for like a lot of people.
Sure.
Like comics will be like, I've never been more depressed in my life, and they'll just go and like annihilate.
Well, that's why I think some comics feel like they can't, like get help or get stop drinking or being an addict or whatever because like, it won't be funny anymore.
Yes.
It's like, that's not really how it works. So I don't think
You can just
could
lose
be
a night
funny
of
about-
sleep. Literally. I mean, like last night I didn't have any sleep.
Oh, I'm on right now. I've slept 5 hours in the
That's
past
what it is.
48.
You can artificially create turmoil.
Mania.
You can
Yeah.
do too much coffee. You can do so much.
Oh, can you?
But I just, the whole thing is, because I have buddies who are like, I'm worried without alcohol. And it's like, dude, you'll feel fucked up every other day. There's so much crazy shit that, but it also is like, I don't know, the post-breakup mid somebody's dumping you, there's nothing like that set. I mean, it is crazy because you don't
that
care.
is true.
You're like, fuck all of you. Nobody loves me, so I'm just going to go nuts. And then you crush. It is good.
Yeah.
It is really good. I've been watching so much Sebastian Maniscalco that last night I just did full ham, like huge face and body move, and it was so fun. It was great, and I was terrified because I went up after Quinn and Sam Morril.
oh yikes.
And it was I like listen. My mom was
Dude,
always
she
like, "You
holds
need
her
to
own,
make it."
man.
Yeah.
She's
That's
fucking
scary.
great. Yeah.
When did the podcast started in the pandemic, or did I get that wrong?
No,
we tried to do a podcast. What do we call it? Futon philosophy. Exactly. And
I've always found like if you don't have a name that is like perfect and crushes, it's better to just be like, here's my podcast. You know?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
try and
yeah.
come up with,
yeah.
like,
Which is
get
why
it? The
we're just like
alliteration sounds-
You need a
Ian
great
with
name like
Jordan.
KFC Radio.
Oh my God,
Yes.
the worst one in the world.
Yes,
The worst
where
one in the world.
everyone thinks it's about food.
Dude, we've had people come on and be like, so we're talking about chicken? Like, no.
Hilarious.
We're not talking about chicken. It's
just too
Mark
old
Wahlberg.
what is
No, is that what happened?
Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
Great.
So sucks.
So we were talking about chicken.
What does KFC stand for?
My stupid initials.
WD-40. Look
Yeah. If you ever need some oil, we
Wow, that I'm attracted to that.
got you. We had
Why
a
is
squeaky
that?
chair.
Why?
And somebody.
Is that
Probably what you farm girl uses lube when you were younger.
I don't know.
Being
Did
up
you
in
see that movie
Ithaca.
Titane, where she fucks a car.
Yes.
I couldn't resonate more.
What?
I know.
How
I'm
did
like,
she fuck it?
Oh yeah, she gets horny for cars.
Like metal.
We'll be walking. She's like, "Look at that boxed up Jeep."
yeah, dude, my motorcycle.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
that's
it
where you
is.
got that motorcycle,
Oh,
right?
and
Hop
it's
on
like
that.
old. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah,
does it for me.
we had a squeaky chair that you could hear like on the podcast.
Why did you
Yep.
buy that big one? How did
There
you?
it is.
A fan sent it in, like to be a dickhead.
Oh,
that's nice.
That is nice.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Unfortunately, life doesn't come with a user manual, so when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. Navigating any of life's challenges can make you feel unsure, whether it's a career change, a new relationship, or becoming a parent. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you. I obviously have been to therapy quite often. It is a important part of my week. It helps me kind of just get things together. It's a nice little break from reality where I can learn more about reality, if that makes any sense. But I get to take a step back and just observe things through a different lens. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, available 100% online. Plus, it is very affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless search for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/KFC. That's better, HELP, help.com/KFC.
Yeah.
But no, this is just my initials. It was a stupid name that I gave it back when we started a very long time ago. So
ours.
honestly, we kind of stole it, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
No, we had this this logo come out, but we're gonna like renovate. And when we went to do your podcast, I think I told you, I was like, that was awesome. Because we did this for so long here, and it feels like you're on a show with a desk, and we were just like sitting on the couch smoking cigs and like talking. Yeah. And I thought we had like the funniest podcast ever.
Yeah.
It was like,
it was
just,
great,
like, flowing. I was like, we need something like this. Like, it used to feel like you're just.
Well, it feels like you're in like a basement hanging out with your buddies, and your mom's not home, and you're like having a sleepover.
This kind of feels like that too. You got the.
Well, yeah.
It's like the vibe of the people on it, but the environment of our studio.
A little more like, you're on a podcast. And
No, it's dog shit in here. I mean, I don't mean like
fuck you, computer guy.
You think it's way nicer than it is.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm on a podcast. It feels like I'm in the storage room that you guys got stuffed into. But which is cool. Which is a good. You should get the Down syndrome Sports Illustrated. I want that more than anything.
The
Down syndrome model.
Yeah, is that out? Did that happen?
Yes, she's on
like
the cover of Sports Illustrated. I need to get it signed. How did you do that? Is that Pedialyte?
That's signed by like a pen. With the Down syndrome girl, she'll just sign in crayon.
Yeah, that would be great. If somebody could get that.
Being Ian with George. Patreon.com/BeingIanPod. Anyway, so we started the podcast. Bang it on.
Yeah, you had me on, and then.
Well, it was supposed to just be me.
Yeah. I was gonna say
so the podcast we did is actually your show as well, but we only did it with him.
I didn't want to do it with you guys.
Okay.
Well, she didn't want to do it with like guests. So, but my thing was like, it's being Ian and it's my thing. And then I got Wes Schultz of the Lumineers to do the theme song. And I was like, well, it's stuck. I wrote the lyrics, he did the song, and I was like, well, it's stuck in this. And then she was my first guest, and it was so fucking good. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it together. But the name was like, well, what do we do with the name? Blah, blah, blah. So then we named it Being Ian with Jordan. And then it was like, do we change the name, whatever? And then now it just kind of
just stick around so long that it's like a bad name, and then it kind of comes back around.
Yeah,
it's so bad that it's. Like,
but it works out like in the song. It's like Being Ian with Jordan.
Yeah. Also, like the name does not matter.
Yeah.
In very few instances, I think the podcast name matters. The rest of it is just like. It could be, the Tom Smith Show, and if it's really fucking funny and people like it, that's all it is.
But now it's like totally our thing. It's like guests, whatever, no guests, whatever.
And it's fun and audio. Like I'll do headlining sets, and people will be like, "Being Ian," and I'll be like, "With Jordan."
Yeah. Or people come up and be like, "Being Ian with Jordan."
Yeah,
it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's great. And we moved the couch, so now we're like decorating better with like us and everything. But again, like. My ex left me, and immediately I redid the basement into a studio and was like, fuck it, I'm focusing on this. And then when she came to get her shit, she was like, oh, you can do this in a week, but you couldn't do this for a year and a half. And I was like, yes, because you were not going to make me money.
I love this.
Yeah.
There is, unfortunately, when... You can't do both at like its highest level, I don't think. I think that is like one of the great tragedies of like human life is that you can try really hard and come really close.
Well, I think that's
you will always like if you don't have there's only so many hours in a day and so much effort you can put into certain things.
Well, I think that's a tragedy being like creative and like an artist and working in a thing where you have to like make things and focus on like we're only as good and we're only getting as much work as we're like putting into it. And then if you put a relationship over that, it's like where you're gonna lose out.
You're gonna miss
the relationship
things,
came
you're gonna
after I started this thing that is my love.
Right.
And it sucks for a lot of people to be like, oh, I'm number 2.
Right.
Oh, you're away a lot. Fuck you.
But
I'll
it's
date the
also
guy that
bad
sits
if
at the
it's
bar
not
at the end of the night and is a union
He's
elevator
a big,
operator.
fat, ugly doofus.
Yeah.
He's so unattractive.
Yeah.
Do not worry about
And
it.
I am attractive
That's right.
because I look like the monster.
You really do.
like
People love that monster.
But people who focus don't have an artistic outlet and focus put their relationship first and foremost. That doesn't go well either.
no,
Yeah.
not at all.
Because it's not. You're supposed to be a
That's not healthy.
supplemental support. It's
For
not
sure,
supposed
for
to be
sure.
like your life.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm finding like
that's the
dating
argument
someone,
Tom Brady made. Giselle didn't buy it.
Yeah, she didn't take that.
dating someone like that is a comic or in a band is a lot better because then you have creative things you can like talk about and like push each other and
Date
like
within
like
that
my
same
chick
world.
now like
Yeah.
we help each other with self tapes and that like helps, you know, or like I don't know,
I don't
like
know.
dating
I
someone in a
don't think
band
I
you
would-
can relate to being on the road and in vans.
That I
and
think
shit.
helps. Where it's like people who can understand your schedule, I think is huge. Because it's like
It's
I
hard to
leave
not
for
date comics
days
as a
and
comic.
weekends at a time. I miss holidays, all that shit.
I know.
But the rest of it, I don't know if I
But it's like
I would not
I'm
want to
willing-
sit around and like talk about podcasting with.
I was gonna say that's the
No.
worst when like you get home. It's like, how was your day? It's like I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I already talked about it all.
Yeah,
I
I've been
don't-
talking since 9 a.m.
I don't want to talk.
Just
I'm
shut
done.
up and let's watch 28 Days Haunted, the new haunted reality show on Netflix that I can't stop watching.
It's not like it was a bad day. It's just I don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah, it's
like
And then it's like, why are you such a
babbling.
dickhead? You don't
Dude,
talk to
yeah,
me.
that's a
Yes.
fucked up thing. Is where you'll date somebody. At least for me, it's like you're on all the time, right? It's like podcasts. I'm on. Then you go do 4 shows. You're on. And then you get back and you're like completely lobotomized. And this person is like, how did I sign up to
Engage with
date?
me.
Like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I work
bro.
remotely now. I haven't talked to a person in 12 hours. Like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna
Sorry.
start- Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, totally. And you just both, I think that is why I tend to date artists, is for that reason,
get
where you're
it,
both
at
like,
least,
want to
yeah.
put our brains on ice for a second? Hell yeah, dude. You know? And it is like, or just like want to just prioritize sex because it's the moment where we don't have, you know what I mean?
Let's get
But
home
it
and
is-
fuck and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is like,
I also think it's much better to be where you're at and start dating someone, and it's like this, like you said, like this is what I do. Like if you just change kind of, if you're like, I used to only like do a couple spots and now I'm selling out theaters all across the country. It's like, well, when we started dating, you know, it would go up like twice a week. Now
Yeah,
you're going
yeah.
all over the country for 6 weeks at a time.
That, like
Fuck
off the
that.
bat now, they kind of get the deal because
Yeah,
you're
'cause
so
it's
busy
just
and
what your
everything.
life
But
is.
and also, if you start dating someone when you're only doing a couple spots, they're like, well, you know, you don't need to keep going. Just stop.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah, they're not gonna
'cause
push you.
Women
And that-
always
I
want
mean-
to change you.
has that ever, do we know anybody where that's worked out, where they've dated before Ismail and his wife are still together?
Yeah, but he doesn't really do stand up anymore.
Yes, he does.
Does he?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't seen him in a while.
But I don't know
I'd say
anybody.
if you don't see people around, you're like,
But
oh,
it's
I don't
also-
think they
it's
exist.
also- Are they dead?
Did they
fall off
dead?
a cliff
Well,
and
no,
die?
wow,
Impact?
you know?
I also think it could be anything. It's like we're talking about comedy here, but like any job where you all of a sudden take off or get more hours or
Well, I think that's
whatever,
different
you know?
because a lot of athletes marry their like high school person or the
Mm-hmm.
person they met in college, you know, because I think when you're an athlete you really need someone like cheering you on and like really like,
Someone
especially
who
if you're
just
going to be
lets you have
massively
sex with other people
famous,
and
you
you're in
need
agreement with them.
What? Oh, I didn't even hear what you said.
I just think a lot of those sometimes are like we're married, but like
We're
I do
fucking
whatever
a
I
million
want.
other people.
Yeah, like-
yeah, well, it's an investment for a chick that's married. They're like,
For
oh,
sure.
we're going to be fucking millionaires.
But I feel like
Exactly.
that
I
about
will
dating
support you, and I
comics.
Yeah.
won't say anything. And
But
we'll
also,
be like
the
a
guy
team,
needs
but-
to know he can fucking trust a down ass bitch,
sure.
and she's not going to try to,
For
you know,
sure. It's
pull
one of the most
something
beautiful
from
things
him.
in the world, if you ask me.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's the most romantic thing in the world.
Yeah, I know.
I do that when I date comics. I'm like, on the road, whatever.
Really?
That's
yeah, because
woo.
I'll get they can't help
For you or
themselves.
for them?
I'm not fucking anybody. But why would I ever? I mean, maybe, but no. I'm
You're
more
saying
like
it's more like you
I'm gonna
let
have,
them fuck.
Well, for me, it's like I'm gonna stay up till 5 a.m. talking to somebody this close to my face and bond with them, and then be like, bye. And for me,
Ugh.
that's like emotional
Sure.
affair kind of thing. But yeah, when I date comics, I'm like, when you're on the road, you should fuck who you want because it's going to happen. They're going to do it anyway.
Very progressive.
Because it's the benefit of being. And usually, if you date a comic, they used to be a big, stupid, ugly dingus when they were kids. So now it's like
kind
they're
of cashing in,
Yeah.
making up for lost time, sort of.
So yeah, I'm
But
definitely.
and you think you're actually
I'm
okay with that.
I don't want to know, but
it's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean.
Don't let me catch
Yeah,
you.
but there's still some.
do not let me find
okay.
out.
Okay, so it's like you don't like it.
Don't ask, don't tell. It's like being gay in the military in the
No,
90s.
I know how some people are like into it, and they're like, "Oh, what did you two do?" No,
It's just a
absolutely
matter of, like,
not. I will
I would
skin you
prefer
alive
you-
if I find out. Yeah, no. Just do it and don't let me find out.
Well, you've evolved because initially you were like, I don't believe in monogamy, la la la
That's
la
because
dee
I
da.
hated my boyfriend.
Yes.
People who say that are in relationships with people they don't like.
I hated him, and we had such good sex.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, he showed up to Vegas.
Shh.
We'll edit that out.
Is that not good?
It's fine, but
sorry.
he
will
doesn't
edit
talk
that.
to me right now, and I don't want to make it worse.
He's not gonna watch
I didn't
this.
hate him. It might. I didn't hate him.
Why?
I
This
cared
isn't
for him
a
very
video
much.
game.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Never mind, it's all staying in now. Oh, that's great. Oh, kill myself.
This isn't a video game.
Yeah. He's not gonna watch. Yeah.
This isn't anime.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
isn't a jam band in Sheboygan. He's not gonna fucking care
Yeah,
about
I
this.
was just trying to shop around. I don't believe in monogamy because I'm trying to find somebody else, but too codependent to end it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now I'm like forever. But I still, I do believe in the you can fuck. Yeah, because it's part of the gig. It's like
Well, that's like an
it's-
offshoot of non-monogamy. You kind of are like, I'll be monogamous to you, but you run and do as long as you are emotionally
Do you
monogamous
find
to
that
me.
If you do that,
They don't do it.
yeah, is that true?
Yes.
I think it's
Yeah.
like
Let the dog
like
off
hall
leash,
pass. It's kind of
stays
like,
at home.
well, now I
Dog pull until you let it off. It's true.
Yeah, and then the dog just licks its own ass.
And here's the thing: if I say don't fuck anybody, when they fuck somebody, it's like, oh, I'm fucking up and I'm doing this thing. But if you say go fuck who you want, they fuck somebody and they're like, I miss Jordan. She
Yeah, I
lets me
can
do
see
that.
that.
She's such a good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see
Totally.
that for sure.
Yeah.
That's it's in the movie Hall Pass. None of them fuck. Their wives give them hall passes, and they're like, I can't do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, wait, is that the movie where he gives a fake oral?
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
I watched that with my mom and her 86-year-old neighbor Betty, and it was so awkward.
What?
Yeah.
What are you
what
doing
is
watching
this?
movies
I
with your
don't-
neighbor?
Yeah, why-
Because
Betty
my
came
mom and Betty are both widows, so they'd like hang out.
okay.
And why are you there then?
Because I was like visiting, and I was like, "This movie's funny." Or no, my mom was like, "I heard this movie's good," and we
Right.
put it on. It was the most uncomfortable I've ever been. Just raggedy
matter
old
what-
Betty
how old you
and my
are.
mom watching Cunnilingus, and I'm like, "Oh,
It doesn't matter how old
It
you
really-
are.
it
That is
really never
always,
gets better.
will always be the worst thing in the world. Is
a sex scene with your parents
Yep.
watching,
Brutal.
Yeah.
brutal."
Yeah, no, that's.
It is. I thought like once it was all acknowledged that like I have sex too, and we're adults and we talk about sex. It's gotten worse now.
Yeah.
But I'll sit there and I'm like, this is fucking so
Yeah.
bad. This is so fucking bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I got kids, and I still feel like we don't.
Just throw a
acknowledge
glass to
that.
TV.
Yeah.
Slipped. I don't know.
But what's even weirder is the parents that are like, "Let me show you how to masterbate.
Yeah.
Sexuality is a bleebadoo-boo-ba-doo.
I
You're
need
gonna grow
I
up
need
to be a
big
fucking
line
freak."
between that.
Yeah.
A huge line. needs to
Yeah,
be
my
drawn.
mom threw a book at me called like "What's Happening to My Body," and then I jerked off to the pictures on the
The
internet.
advice my mom gave me about fucking dudes is the craziest shit I've ever. I
What was
walked
it?
in
How old
and
are you?
I was like 16. She was holding my best friend's arm like this. When I walked into the kitchen and I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And Brianna was like the coolest girl in school, and I was like, "What?" And she was like, "I'm telling her how to give a blowjob." And I was like, "Why are you doing?" My mom is a lesbian, a rugged lesbian. And
Like,
I was like,
overalls
And I was like-
lesbian.
Lesbian.
And I was like, "What are you doing? Stop!" And she was like, "I'm telling them that you gotta squeeze the base to stop them from coming."
What? That could give you epididymitis. I've gotten that. That's terrible.
I was like, first of all, are you giving such good head that you have to like stop them from coming
Yeah.
so fast? That you
Yeah.
have to choke them out. You have to keep. You have to pinch it off like
what
a
kind of chick
hose?
is trying to stop the cum from getting a blowjob?
I'm just picturing your mom getting a cum shot, going to be like, "I need to get new overalls."
God, it's so crazy.
Rugged lesbian.
This ad is brought to you by Curve. Curve combines your entire wallet into a single card and app. With Curve, you upload your cards into the Curve app, and then when you use Curve, you can swipe and indicate what card you want to use. Or you can assign your card for certain purchases with with the Smart Rules feature. Maybe you want a specific card to cover anything over $100. Maybe you want a specific card to cover gas, while a different, more rewarding card to pay for groceries. It's easy. You just set it and forget it. It's like a rotisserie chicken. Curve also gives you the additional cash back on top of any rewards you're already earning on your other credit and debit cards. Make sure you go to curve.com/Barstool and receive $20 in Curve cash once you've downloaded the app, opened an account, and made a first transaction. Sign up at curve.com/Barstool to receive $20 in Curve cash. Terms and conditions will apply. It's so easy. And also the Curve card is just sick. When you drop it on a table, it is like, hey, there's a man in the room now. Big dog's here. Big dog's going to eat. Go to curve.com/Barstool. Get 20% in Curve cash. Get $20 in Curve cash. Terms and conditions apply.
Yes, that was something else I saw. So you were raised by 2 lesbians, right?
Yeah.
And
two lesbians, dad, and then later another lesbian.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a
So wait, your mom
Kaz
had
is my
a dad.
mom. Kaz and Jack get together.
Okay.
Make me and my sister. They're rugby. They are on the same rugby team.
Okay.
My mom.
He should have known. He should have known. You meet a girl on a rugby team, and she leaves you later because she's
Dude,
gay.
listen to this shit. Her family tree, it's just a stump.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
Okay, so mom and dad
they
meet on a
start
rugby
a
team.
they start a carpentry business together. He still doesn't know. Then she leaves him, and then she gets with Michelle. So, and then Michelle was so they're both, I'm basically being raised by 2 dudes. And then Michelle, very motherly, comes in and I'm like, oh my God, a mommy.
Yeah.
They raised me, and then Michelle leaves my mom and meets Donna, who becomes my stepmom. So it's mom, Michelle's other mom, Donna's stepmom, and the 3 of them buddies.
Bro, I'll be honest, I lost you.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's like, what the fuck is
They
this?
start going
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah.
I was with you with Michelle, and then it was gone.
It's just Michelle
Donna fucked me
and
up.
mom split up, and then Michelle got new wife.
You need to
But
draw
the other
it.
ones kind of, they all
all-
stay in the mix a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
still
that's
very
what's-
much still.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Christmas.
That's-
Yeah.
So like, even though they split up, it's like I'll still help raise.
Yeah, and Donna was working as a carpenter for my mom when she met Michelle, and then Michelle and Donna got together.
This is just some carpentry like gangbang.
And I did carpentry. I
Right.
had my own and then and then dad and mom had competing businesses. Dad died, and now it's the 3 of them. And it's like my mom is like best friend / dad. Michelle is like motherly mom, and Donna is like step dad who gives you weed and lets you borrow a truck.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great.
That's a
It's
good setup.
But it is like no feminine role models at all. So now I'm just the most lost straight person in the entire world. It is so
In the
hard.
entire world.
Yeah.
It is so
Our
difficult.
podcast is basically a competition to find out who's gay first.
Yeah. You guys are a great match.
Yeah.
In that sense, you are the antithesis of the gay kid who's like, oh, I'm gay and I don't know what to do about it. You're like, I'm straight and I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
And there's
our
probably
dynamic
there's not many of those.
is that I almost bring the feminine energy.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like Feidelberg.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I do.
Yeah. When
That's
we were
right.
giving advice
Yeah.
yesterday, and you were like, "You need to go through the steps," and I was like, "You need to stop being a little bitch."
Yeah, she's being mean. These people are like, the Patreon members are like, I need advice and please help me. And she's like, first of all, you gotta stop being such a little second of all, be a fucking man. And I'm like, talk to yourself. Tell yourself you have value.
I was like, read Jordan Peterson's like.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was like, help me, it'll help you make your bed, idiot.
Yeah. Fucking wild.
Bro, Jordan Peterson's got to stop crying every time he's
What?
fucking everything he's the last
Yeah.
2 like appearances he's crying.
Where's he
Yeah,
appear?
for somebody who's all
Piers
about women be
Morgan.
women and men be men, he's
Yeah.
being a little bitch.
Really big
Yeah.
time bitch.
Why is he crying? And also, hey, look, cry.
No,
don't
it's really
film
weird.
it and don't put it on the internet.
He did an interview with McConaughey and started crying. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I'm
willy-nilly.
saying. He's going through like an emotional,
yeah.
fucked up thing. Stop filming. Stop talking to people.
sure.
Cry all you want, but keep it inside and hide it.
He
Fucking
cried
stop
talking to McConaughey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
About what?
I know. I didn't see the McConaughey one. I saw the Piers Morgan one where.
Oh my God.
Olivia Wilde said, you are like the king of the incels. She was like, fuck Jordan
yeah.
Peterson and everyone who follows him. You're all like incel assholes. And Piers Morgan was like, what do you like think of that? And he was just like,
Oh, it hurts.
Yeah,
It hurts.
it just hurts when I hear that because, like, I think about everybody. It was just like,
I mean, it's a pretty accurate
It was just
description.
Me.
I feel like
He was basically being like, you're bullying, and you're calling these young men.
and he cried
insults.
about being bullied.
Yes.
That's,
Bro,
that's
like,
And he
bro.
also-
say your thing, but don't cry off camera.
Dude, you can't cry about getting bullied when you're an adult man.
When,
You can't.
especially when you're Jordan Peterson, who's kind of his thing is like, I'll go toe to toe and we'll debate and we'll
Yeah.
argue and all that shit. And then
That's
Olivia
such a
Wilde's
chick
like, "You're
move
an
to
insult."
cry,
You
so then you can't go at him, and then
Right,
you
you
like
look like a
Wanna
bully
see
and
this?
stuff. Yeah.
Look at
Why?
this Jordan Peterson video I made. You're really gonna like it.
what?
You're really gonna like it.
Are you showing us content you made?
Yeah,
You were killing it for so long. What are you doing?
but it's really good.
Off
I
air.
was on a donut break anyway. It's all good.
Oh, okay, all right, fair
Can we pull
enough.
it up on the screen?
Yeah, can we do that fast?
Can we also pull up on the screen a video of her being a fucking monster in our hotel room?
I don't know if we can.
Oh.
We'll put it in.
We can
post.
put it in, yeah.
Okay, ready?
If I am required to acknowledge that my tweet violated the Twitter rules.
This is this guy talks like.
Sons of bitches. Exactly. Precisely.
It looks just like it.
I can't see it.
Dude, have you never heard him talk?
I think that's my first time ever hearing Jordan
Oh,
Peterson talk.
that's the whole
I
thing
know.
about him.
Oh,
I
he
saw him
talks
debate with
like
G-Jack
this,
and
Bro,
Jonah.
and
he
he
talks
cries.
So
He
like,
is very smart. He does have the problem is he just went down a bad Twitter obsessed. He is smart when it comes. I mean, he's like taught it. You
Well,
know.
did you see when he called that girl fat, and then when people made fun of him, he
He
ran
said-
off of Twitter?
He said not beautiful, which is so funny. It's funny because it's like Selena Gomez in the audience the other day went.
Wait, what happened?
I was on stage and she was like, is anybody going through a breakup? And she was like, ah. And then
Selena Gomez?
Yeah, Selena Gomez.
I don't believe this.
Selena
Selena Gomez
Gomez
was not. If she
Are you
was,
kidding
if that
me?
was really Selena Gomez, it would have been like Page Six
say,
News.
Don't say where it was, dude, because
You just said where it was.
I didn't say where it was. I
You
said
said
on stage.
You mentioned the place.
Did I?
Okay.
Like, you never
Fucking idiot.
Anyway,
See?
Selena Gomez used the word
Moron.
reject when she was talking about.
She said what?
She was like, he married a reject, right?
wait,
And
Selena
that's-
Gomez heckled you on
I can say
stage?
this. I can say this.
Okay.
Huh?
Selena
yeah,
Gomez-
yeah. Totally. It was
It was-
crazy. I
I'm
didn't know it was
saying
her.
it's not her.
Dude, you can say that, but literally,
was Serena
I saw her and
Gomez.
everybody was freaking out.
Really?
And yeah, totally.
I'm just jealous I wasn't there.
Yeah, you're
She
such
yells-
a baby.
she's so hot.
He married a reject?
Yeah.
Talking
about
about
not about
Justin Bieber.
No. It was something. Woo! And apparently, I'm saying this because apparently she's like she like posted shit all the time and she's like open about it. But it was the same thing. The word reject is it's like not beautiful. It's like such a mean but clean
Hurtful.
way of
Right,
saying. It's like
right.
being like he married an orpin. It's like crazy.
Which is kind of a reject.
A reject is...
Yeah.
But it's like
the
cutting but
reject
clean.
is a underused term.
I ripped
all
her
of
apart
society.
for it.
You know what I
ripped her
use?
apart for it.
Low grade imbecile.
It's so what it reject. I'm like, dude, you're stuck in the Disney Channel days. That's so funny. Reject is a word we used in like the 90s.
I
Like,
love
I'm
it.
I'm an American reject. It's crazy.
Bring it back.
I know.
Yeah.
I think so. But that's how I felt about Jordan Peterson, where he was like, not beautiful. I was
beautiful.
like, you
Not
could have
beautiful.
said not sexy or unhealthy, overweight, not beautiful. Just the most like subjective term. Like you can look at this and be like, I
that's
find
not
beauty in
beautiful.
it. Yeah, it's so
yeah.
funny.
But then, everyone was like, dude, you're an asshole. And he's like, I'm leaving Twitter. It's too much
Dude,
to
Twitter
handle."
has broken
Well,
his brain.
I mean, Twitter has broken a lot of brains.
Oh, it's broken
Oh,
mine for sure.
yeah.
Oh, mine's dead.
Totally.
I'm actually
gone.
hoping
I'm not
with
on it.
Elon that
You're not
maybe-
on it at all?
Good for you.
Oh, she
Stay
doesn't
that
have
way.
a Twitter.
I don't even have that.
That's
that
so
way.
smart. Can you, from a broken brain, get it back if Twitter's destroyed you? I think you
think-
can
Wait,
if you
how does
get
it
off
destroy you?
Twitter.
It's just like it just doesn't work right anymore. Like I need the dopamine hit of like the likes and the retweets. I guess it's social media in general,
Yeah.
but Twitter is my social media.
My
of
thing
choice.
is just I actually don't really check like likes and retweets anymore. I'm more like I wake up like with my eyes, I grab my phone, and I'm just like, what's happening in the world? And I'm on Twitter. I actually don't know if that's the worst thing in the world. Like I'm just like I'm always just like, what's
you're
happening
reading the
in the world?
newspaper in the morning.
But yeah, but it's
Yeah, but
clearly,
at the
then
same
you
time,
start
it's
to
like,
get a little-
what is the source that you're
Well,
reading?
so yeah, and also we got a little taste of it here. So when I make videos for Instagram every like every couple days we send them to our social team, and they like tell me what can go up and what can't go up with all these rules. And I was talking to those guys about it, and cause so they go to all these conferences and they read all the rules and they actually follow it. And they're like, it's really, you really don't even understand how much you're being kind of puppeteered and controlled. Even when you think like, I'm just on Instagram, it's like they're feeding you exactly what.
Oh, dude,
like not
everyone.
to be some like tinfoil. Like,
No, it's
crazy
the truth,
conspiracy,
and
it's
everyone's just like,
all of it
free
is-
speech. We should be able to say
Yeah,
what we
it's like,
say.
you're not
And
saying
then
shit,
when
bro.
they post it, they censor the cuss words because they'll get community guidelines. So there is no free speech. It's
No,
fucking.
there's
this
nothing.
is free speech, man.
This is it. Right
It's also
here.
crazy when you go to the circles of stories. I'm like, how does it know everybody that I've had a crush on dated for a day and none
Thought
of
about.
Yeah, like Ian
Talk
is like
to.
8th on the list. I'm like, why is he down there?
Yeah.
But this one dude who I've been thinking about, who I made out
Yeah.
with once. How do
Yeah.
you
They
know?
know. They
Bro,
That's crazy.
Yo, I saw a friend I hadn't seen in forever. Not even on Instagram, not even in person. Hadn't seen his ex in forever on Instagram or in person. He was on stage. We didn't even talk. He was on stage. Didn't say her name. Mentioned ex-girlfriend. I go on Instagram and she is the first thing that popped up on my feed.
Yeah.
And that information alone should be like, get into the river. But instead, I'm like, let me post some tag. I'm a slave to this
So
piece
crazy.
of shit thing.
There's
I've chosen this over relationship.
There's a documentary on Netflix that I forget the name of it. It's maybe called like Big Dad or whatever.
The Dahmer tapes. Oh.
Great. And but it's like someone poses a question like they're actually not listening to you.
What?
And he's describing how they're not listening to you, and he's like, but I say that's scarier. He's like, they just know how to read your phone that well, like what you slowed down, not even what you like, it's reading like what you slowed down on, and it's like, oh, he might like that.
But how did
Let's
that
throw it
chick
back to him
pop
again.
up on my
No,
thing
because
then?
I've literally said to a guy, I've been like, oh, I don't like DeWalt, I like Makita, and then it's immediately a Makita ad.
Oh no, I think they are listening, but I think that they can go beyond that. Like literally, it's like you're scroll. Oh, I stop for a second. Scroll. They see that stop, and they're like, okay, he liked that too. Like
Oh, yeah.
everything
Yeah.
about
My
your
roommate was
behavior
making fun-
He
will-
was arguing there's no...
I think they're
Yeah,
also listening. To them.
he was
It's
arguing
both.
they're not.
It's
but
both.
It is.
It's both.
But it's also like it's. There was
Bro,
also
my
the
old roommate
description
was
of,
making
like,
fun of my teeth, and then all these fucking dentist ads were popping up.
If you don't think that Amazon, Alexa, people are just
Yeah.
always talking and saying what they need and want, and that's all being cataloged, but no
I kind
one's.
of like the ad thing.
Yeah, because it gives you what you want.
It knows
what you need.
exactly what I want. Yeah, it just sends
No,
me
there's
the
definitely
thing
some
and I'll-
benefits to Big
absolutely.
Brother for sure. Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, one day we'll
The
live in a
problem is you buy
dystopian
them off
future. and-
Instagram and they're dog shit. Everything they
Yeah.
send you is chintzy shit.
Yeah,
like,
Oh, yeah.
incredibly
the
so.
worst
For sure.
kind.
Yeah.
All right, this ad is brought to you by Freebird. Did you know? And this is a shocking revelation to me as well right now. Did you know most bald people are shaving their head wrong? They're using the same multi-blade razor that they also use on their face. But razors were designed to shave flat surfaces, not curved domes. Avoid painful nicks, cuts, and irritation by getting a shaver actually designed for your head. That's why bald head shavers need the Flex Series electric rotary shaver from Freebird. With 5 blades that individually flex to the head's curvature, you'll get the closest shave of your life in minutes. I've actually seen this online, and it actually is very sick. Have you seen this? I have seen the Freebird. If you are a bald person, you should have this because it is actually really, really sick. Plus, when compared to traditional manual razors, the Flex Series shaves 50% more hair in a single stroke. For upcoming holidays, birthdays, or, just because, get yourself the best shaver of your life. Freebird, previously Freedom Grooming, is giving our listeners an exclusive discount. Visit myfreebird.com/KFC for 20% off. That's myfreebird.com/KFC and get 20% off today.
and everything's like 400% off. It's like,
Yeah,
that's curious.
But it's
Yeah.
too much work to literally look at the name and go, okay, Google, what is blah, the same
Yeah.
version.
Yeah, just send
I'm
it.
just like, give me now. Credit card information
Apple Pay.
already
Yeah, Apple
in
Pay
phone.
is-
Dude.
The Apple Pay is
The Apple Pay is
disastrous.
fucked
if you just
It's
let
disastrous.
go and don't
You have
care.
to eat
God,
mushrooms
it's great.
and then you view it so...
No,
the whole
that's so
pandemic-
dumb.
the whole
I hate that
pandemic, I
everyone's
ate
like, eat mushrooms, it makes things better.
I ate mushrooms over the pandemic and then I
Oh,
started
you're
posting
cool.
reels. And it was like, you know when you're high and you think about social media and you're like, I have to take everything down I ever made. I'm such an idiot. On mushrooms, you like view it so much as a separate thing that's like a sad monster trying to dominate you that you can just like manipulate. But you have to like tap back in, because then it does start to like overcome you.
Yeah,
But
you can free yourself of that. Of
You
that
can,
feeling
yeah,
of
but
I'm
it just-
attached
I'm
to
just
it,
saying
know
that
that
doing
it's a
mushrooms, it
separate
did help
entity,
me be like,
and I don't do
oh.
mushrooms, and I figured that out.
But yes,
You're a drug
that's
addict.
fine. I'm proud of you. I hate when people say, first of all, mushrooms are not drugs. I mean, they are drugs.
Yeah,
but it's a different thing.
they're a plant, man. They're from the earth.
That's not what I'm saying. It just is a different thing. We'll do mushrooms. You
No,
know?
I'm not touching.
Have you
it.
never done mushrooms?
Why do you think I feel this way? Because I've done
Oh, I
mushrooms.
was gonna say, yeah, okay.
Too much.
I'm
I'll do
very
acid
pro
with you.
mushrooms. I
I
think
won't.
they're very good. They help me cure OCD. I think that everybody should do them all the time.
I just think they're fun.
They are
I don't
fun.
like find them helpful. I'm just like
I'm totally
I
sober.
have
No
fun
drugs,
being
no
high.
alcohol,
Yeah, and
nothing.
you're
I'm
screaming
fun.
Like a baby.
I'm fun. I figured things out on my own. I've reached into who I am. I used to be a mess, and now I'm better. Fun, no drugs.
I argue drugs are fun. That you should use drugs. Like
I think mushrooms.
People should
I'm
do
not
drugs.
for anything but mushrooms. Mushrooms, I do.
I'm for whatever you want.
I'll
Yeah.
concede mushrooms, acid, fine. Weed, evil,
Weed is an
wrong,
evil, bad drug.
It
I
is
actually- I don't-
releasing
Weed sucks.
psychosis
Weed
in
sucks.
people.
Weed
The
sucks.
amount
Really?
of THC
That's
that's in
a
it is
curveball.
fucking destroying minds.
Oh, I think
and
there's
all
too
these
much-
lunatics
weed
you
is
see in the
too-
city.
too
What do you know?
strong
Before
now.
they push someone on the subway, they're fucking smoking a blunt, and it's like K2 and all this shit.
I
in
think it used to be like you get a little high and you're good. Now it's like
yeah,
Like a
dude.
one-
Scientific.
Man, I saw-
like,
Zoom-
You know when
man.
you see somebody smoking like a joint during like at like 2 p.m. That shit. I'm like, how? In what?
I also when I watch someone take down like a whole joint themselves.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god! I take a 2 hits and I am
literal-
done for the
Yeah.
night.
literal 2 hits.
And then
Yeah.
you're walking
2 hits.
around the city and the whole entire city's hot box. You're like, what are we doing, man?
That's too much for me. And
I
yeah, I
hate
mean,
weed.
but when I hear people, you know, the Joey Diaz's of the world are on like 2,500 milligrams.
It's crazy.
I'm like, I'm on like 12. Joey Diaz does like thousands of milligrams.
Well, bro,
He'll do-
some
he'll do
people,
edibles of, like-
on accident one time.
Right, and I'm
it
like,
was- I
oh.
was a. I
some
became
people
a
can
horse.
handle it.
Right.
All the power to them. Good luck,
Yeah.
best of
I
luck.
don't know
God
how
bless
they
you.
do it.
Tolerance,
But
they build it up.
the most people have some form of latent mental illness, and this brings it to the
Activates
surface,
it.
and they get in a drug-induced psychosis. A hospital out west, I believe San Francisco or San Diego, I may be wrong on that, but they're having 36 episodes a day, people coming in with psychosis, weed-induced psychosis. More people than are coming in on meth or fentanyl. It's crazy because it brings things to the surface. I had a buddy, dear friend, entire life. We just had a thing where he was in like a total weed fucking different world and he tried to fight me. It was fucking nuts.
yeah,
It was crazy.
weed is crazy.
Well, maybe you were just talking with your hands too much.
Look, I admit, I'm mentally ill, okay? Which is why I don't do it because I don't want to get to that point where it's fucking worse.
Unlocks
than it already
the-
is.
I ate like a little bit of an edible the other night to try and sleep that was like mixed with, you know, CBD or something. And I was like, yeah, I got to sleep because I had to breathe myself down from a panic.
Yeah.
What I do is I do
paranoia
that,
goes crazy with
and
this
I'll
shit.
be like high the entire next day, and get like so depressed that I'm so dumb because I'm,
Yeah.
I'm still so high.
Yeah.
That like it's like it feels like running in sand. Where I'm
Yeah.
like I can't even have a conversation. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
And it's like oh I'm still high from last night.
Right.
And
I did
it's
that
like,
now
I
it's
did that
ruined
Monday
everything.
night.
If that's what happens,
whatever.
cool, great. But don't give me this bullshit that it's like not addictive, it's not harmful, it's medicine, it's DD. No,
But
you're
everything's
fucking.
addictive too, though. Like people do it with coffee. People be like, "Oh, you're addicted to coffee." Like, I don't know.
I can
guess,
stop
like,
coffee.
Mushrooms are-
I
Am
just
I-
like coffee.
I really
which
like
is
that.
what an addict says.
Stop anytime I
No,
want
that's mine.
You could never stop.
Yeah,
But it is
also,
like-
who
it
the
gets-
fuck am I? I smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
And we're both on antidepressants.
You're right. What the fuck am I even talking about, man?
So much drugs, dude.
I'm an ex-drug addict. I added psychosis thing for weed. Ah, fuck. All right, live your best life. Who gives a shit?
I love
It is like nowadays when people are like, oh, like, well, you're addicted to coffee. Like, I don't. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I'm also addicted to sugar because I eat fast food, and I'm addicted to water because I drink it all the time.
I'm addicted
But,
to
like,
oxygen.
Everything's an addiction. Now.
I'm
It's like,
addicted
all
to
right,
food.
Let's relax a little bit.
Yeah,
Live your best life.
do it. Who gives a shit? All right, fucking live your best life.
That's the
It's
perfect
just that
wrap-up.
being around people who are at even the tiniest bit high is such a bummer. and the only people they connect with is somebody
they're
who's
out.
also
Yeah.
high,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there's
yeah.
just the dumbest thoughts
Yeah.
you've ever.
But also, that's what happens on Twitter. Everybody gets fucking jacked up and high, and they live in this weird fucking world, and then they tweet out, and then people are like, "Oh yeah," and they're high too, and then that becomes
I would
reality.
love to know if I didn't do this job if I would be on social media, because I really don't think I would be, but that's probably.
Oh, I
that's probably
admire
an
that
ignorant
so
thing
much
to
when I
say.
talk to people,
They don't have
and they're
it.
like, "I don't have social media." I'm like,
Oh, I
"God,
love
Dude,
bless
I
you."
think it's the cool. Both my parents are like barely know how to use the
Oh,
internet.
yeah, my
and
mom-
they're pretty young too. They're
In
like, they're
another
not
life,
older
I'd
people.
be a firefighter without the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
I went to the
meet a guy with
firefighter
just
stuff-
saying
store
the
yesterday.
N-word to my boys at the bar.
Oh, dude, yeah, just ending it up. You know, why not?
If you met a guy and you said, "What's your Instagram?" and he didn't have an Instagram, what would you think of that?
I would. My
Like, suck his
pants
dick on
would
the
be off
spot?
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or if you see one and it's just kind of shitty.
Yeah, he has, like,
there's
4
4 photos.
pictures
One with
and-
him's like sister's new baby or
Yeah,
something.
you're
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
great.
I want to fuck you.
Yeah, it's the ironic ones that are curated well that I'm like, we need to stay away from each other.
Yeah,
yeah.
Dude, it's a double-edged sword. A chick will be so hot, and it's all these pictures of her in bikini and da-da-ba-da-da-da. But then it's like, oh, you're a you're crazy.
Yeah.
Everything is
When you
just you.
see a-
Someone is just selfies.
Yeah, that's
run.
so weird. Like, I mean, I know, you can make money.
Meanwhile,
now,
every
you
one
can
of my
live, like, a
posts is about
dream
me.
life. But like, I'm trying to think of if I guess like the equivalent would be like, if in the 90s you met somebody and you went home and you went to their apartment, you opened it up and there was just pictures
of
them
themselves,
all, just
yeah.
themselves all over the wall. You'd be like, what the
As
fuck
comedians,
is
we have to.
this?
My niece, I just saw her and she was looking through I was like, you can look through my photos, and she was like, why are they all? Because there was just videos and clips of me and photos that people. And she was like, why is it all of you? And I was like, full question, good question. Yeah, it is. I think I would I mean, I know I would have social media because I had it before I was a comic. But it was like,
Not to
this
the
is
level
a
that
picture
it
of a
is.
campfire. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was once a month I would post something.
Or like a picture of my friend looking dumb.
But
or
isn't it
something.
weird when you see people who aren't comics now who have it and you're like, it's so, and they post a lot. I'm like, who? Why
Yeah,
are
why?
you even doing
Yeah.
this?
Right,
This
that's
is
what I mean.
so
Yes.
weird.
You're blasting
Yes.
on.
We
it's almost-
have to because of
Twitter's
our
the
job.
I argue that's
Yeah.
almost more fun. Like I have
Yeah.
like one of my best friends has like 50 followers, and he has stories like he is Kim Kardashian. Like
Really?
like him talking to the camera.
Hilarious.
But like he knows it's just going out to like his 50 boys.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like it's
a
actually
group chat.
a big group text.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Twitter's
I'm-
the worst. Instagram is one thing because I do think you do see some cool things, take some good pictures. That's something that everybody has always done is take pictures, right? But Twitter is like I need to get my thoughts off, and we do it because it's like we have an audience. But
The
people are like,
hubris of thinking people care.
Like you think that this
Yeah.
opinion matters to these people?
I've really gotten
Or the
off.
storytelling, like, and where they say, like, they use names, like we know who, Brian said this to me today.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Nobody knows who your fucking husband is.
I've really been doing this thing where I check myself where if I'm like fired up and I'm about to tweet, I go, who,
Who's gonna
why?
consume this? Yeah.
Why does my thing
I
have
love-
to be
you
said?
did that on stage. Oh my god, when you did this whole meltdown about trans kids.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a whole meltdown, being hilarious, and then he gets to a point where and I watched it come into his head where he was like, "Why am I? Why do I care?" And you were like, well, "I don't know why I care." That nobody asked anything. Maybe I'm a hypocrite. Okay. It was so funny.
Existential crisis.
You watch it and be like, well, "Who am I?"
yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It is. I do that all the time. I've started doing that. Where like, because I have. We've talked about it recently, but my Twitter is just bad.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
The other day
bad.
he had like 7 tweets with a total of like.
No, I sent 17 tweets in a day. Had 42 retweets in total.
Shut
So like
up.
we're averaging
for
like a
someone-
little over 2 retweets.
He has like
per
hundreds
tweet.
of thousands of followers.
Yeah.
It's borderline. It's
Holy-
literally impossible.
I see that and I'm like,
impossible
he
numbers.
bought his followers. It's like, oh no, he sucks.
I swear I've never paid a fucking cent for a follower.
No.
Yo,
Never a
dude,
cent.
Years ago, Karen Feehan and Micah Fox had a podcast, and on the podcast, they took my tweets and called the suicide hotline and just read them my tweets. Oh my God. It was incredible. Yeah. It was amazing.
That's
hilarious.
beautiful. That's
That's
hard.
really, really
Person on
funny.
the other end is like, you need to check yourself in right now.
Yeah. They're like, listen, buddy, I don't usually say this, but end it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I just feel like with tweets, comics are like, there's some things that you can't make a joke out of, and I just feel like everything. If you were going to post it on Twitter, it is something you could say on stage.
I think you can say a lot more on stage than you can on Twitter. I think when you
Yeah.
put things in writing, I think you can say it like on Instagram.
You lose
story.
context.
It lives
You lose
forever, man.
When you put it in
like
writing,
you
it's
use
just not the
words
same.
and like kind of looking like a headline or just like a your name and a statement.
and then I
Yeah.
put my bias on it when I read it, and I'm like, "You piece of shit."
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"No, it was a joke."
Hey,
Like,
that's not at
oh,
all the
I'm
tone
a
I was saying.
humorless
Why did you
moron.
choose to read it that way?
Yeah, literally yesterday, God bless him, Big Steve at the cellar died. The had his security,
yeah.
and it's massively sad and tragic. He was such a big part of all our lives, and we were all like posting in memoriams for him, and also like a GoFundMe link for his family and everything. And I made this post, and then like this guy was like, "Well, according to Day of the Dead, he's still around for a couple of days, so lucky you." And I was like, "Who the fuck do you
are
think
you?"
you are? What in what world do you think it'd be cool to make a fucking joke?" And he's like, "No, like Dios de Muertos." I thought he was talking about a zombie movie. That this guy is going to be a zombie for 3 days. And I'm like, "How dare you disrespect Big Steve?" And he's like, "No, man, it's a
my
legitimate
culture. This
is
thing
my
I
culture,
believe
yeah.
in." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm the moron because I'm emotional right now."
Wait, the guy you were attacking on our podcast yesterday, you realized he was
What?
the guy that you were talking about on the podcast
Who
yesterday?
did I attack?
You got into a fight with and then you blocked him?
Oh, that was another guy.
Oh, different guy. Okay.
Yeah, I was in a mood
I was like,
yesterday,
wow,
man.
you really
All right,
shit
look, I was very
gears here.
upset. I'm better now, you know.
It's very sad.
I took some mushrooms. I'm all set.
Yeah, right. Over my dead body.
I'm gonna slip you some.
Yeah. I've worked too damn hard on myself with sobriety and therapy to ruin it with some
your
sort of
eyeballs
outside
down.
thing. Sorry.
Inside
I'm going to
voices.
turn the eyeballs out and go inward.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so the podcast is being Ian with Jordan,
Yes.
and when's it drop?
Free episodes Monday, early and bonus episodes Friday. Your guys' just came out.
Let's go.
We're loving it. You guys were great.
Live show.
Yes, live show November 7th, Monday, New York Comedy Club, East Village, 10:30 p.m. It's
yeah.
us, Stuff Island, Tommy Pope, and Chris O'Connor.
Wow, what a combo!
Mike Racine's opening it
dude.
up. It's going to be
What
a fucking
combo
blast.
that is.
And
Are you guys doing it together, or like you go on for an hour, they go on for an hour?
No.
Everybody
They're
else
our guests.
Oh, dope.
So
Very
it's
cool.
me and
Very
Jordan, and we've done a live show before, and it's fucking great. We do sets, and then we come out and hang out, talk, and then we have someone go around in the crowd ask us advice or just questions in
Cool.
general.
Love
it's
it.
a fucking blast.
That's
Come
gonna
on
be
out.
so much fun.
Yeah,
great.
and November 17th to 19th, I'm headlining Philadelphia Punchline. Come on out.
Atta boy.
Yes, it's going to be a fucking blast.
What's
Buy
the-
tickets so that the other punchlines,
When does this one come out?
know I can fill up a club for a weekend. So I can keep
Where
buying
where
cigarettes.
can they get the tickets?
IanFidance.com and punchlinephilly.com and on my Instagram, iAnimal69.
iAnimal69. Love it. Thank you guys.
Jordan, when's yours?
This weekend I'm at Des Moines Funny Bone, and then the following weekend I'm at Cap City in Austin, and then the following weekend I'm at the Riot Comedy something in Houston.
Yes.
Come to those, please. Des Moines, Iowa, please, for the love of God.
Yes. YouTube.com/beaniandpod.
There needs to be like a way to convey like seriously.
Des
please,
Moines,
buy the
yeah.
fucking tickets,
Cap
please.
City Riot,
Yeah.
you can stay at home, but Des Moines
Right.
for the love of God.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in Ohio this weekend.
know that feeling.
Saturday.
It's like, what the
come or
fuck,
don't.
man?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But fucking Philly come out. December 8th, Pittsburgh Improv. Also do that.
I love it. Thank you very much, guys.
Patreon.com/beaniandpod.
Our last ad of the day is brought to you by our pals over at Ridge Wallet. I got mine right here. It is white. It is sleek. It is sexy. It pops. Want to hear it pop? Nope. Hang on. Wait. Hear it pop. Nope. Oh, hang on. Okay. I can't hear it pop. My thumb's in the way. You can hear it pop? A little pop there? Okay. Well, the Bridge Wallet is an ultra slim, minimalist wallet. It holds up to 12 cards plus room for cash. There's over 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber, and burnt titanium. It's made with the RFID blocking technology that protects you from digital pickpocketers. I have been digitally pickpocketed. It is very uncomfortable. It is weird. It happened down at Potbelly Sandwich Shop right downstairs. Someone stole my identity and then bought a sandwich, and it was a pain in my ass to have to delete all my cards and then re-upload them and save them, all that stuff. This RFID feature, our RFID blocking feature, will protect you from that. They also have a new key case to help organize all your keys. It secures anywhere from 2 to 6 keys. It organizes your keys in a compact silhouette and a fold-out for easy access. There are 6 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium on that as well. Check out their site, ridge.com, and use code KFC for 10% off your order. Again, it's ridge.com. Use code KFC, 10% off your order. I actually follow one of the like Bluth quotes accounts kind of deal, and they very recently, in fact, I think it was last night, they retweeted a screenshot of
I'd be interested to know what you think of that.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. It was the Bluth family intervention. And it actually had John Levinstein replied and said, "Was this your favorite scene to shoot?" And he added you. You didn't reply. Will Arnett said, "It's truly the hardest I've ever laughed in my life." David Cross said, "That was insane. I think I bruised my ribs from laughing so hard."
What's the date on it?
It's actually what's the 4th?
Well, the tweet
it's
just happened
it's
like
actually
yesterday, but the
no, it's old. They retweeted
is it?
old.
Okay.
They're from 2020. It's 4/5/2020.
So is the day remark off of? Are there remarks off of?
This is the screenshot.
This is you talking to a 52-year-old man. So who's remarking? Who's the man behind this machine? How are they talking to this picture? Oh, this is another thing. I'm like, so like Will did it 4/5/20. Does that mean he remarked on 4/5?
Yeah,
fucking with me right now?
No,
why you keep saying remarks?
Did he talk?
He communicated
Did
through
he
the phone
talk back to this picture?
on May 4 or April 4th.
They happened to
So young people, why did they do that? Why did they put this out here?
Dude, you're pretty active on Twitter.
Why is this happening?
Why
is this not occurring?
really active.
I've gotten more active on the Insta.
So somebody just, for whatever reason is a fan of your show.
Like, who's the last comment?
David Cross, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So
So,
then-
I don't even want to know if I want to introduce this. This is a screenshot from Twitter. So we're not actually on
When
Twitter
you
right now.
say
We're in
screenshot, it's taking someone's screen and shooting it on that machine.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, I don't. So
Wait, I genuinely want to ask. So like, if they, wait, hold on. If the last comment was that date, it's just a screenshot of this conversation.
Yes.
Back
What
and
what
then they
happened was
retweeted it.
the
Got it.
Bluth
Somebody
Bluth
brought it
account
up
I follow
recently.
retweeted it last night just by
A
happenstance.
screenshot of the conversation.
They screenshot. They
Got it.
retweeted the conversation. Yeah, and I was like, oh, like Tony Hale's coming in tomorrow. This is like a great question to ask.
Great.
If it's,
I do remember that scene,
Yeah.
Because we just watched it before you came in, and it was funny, but like
but not that fun.
right. But then, but it does but
Just kidding.
I would never have guessed that these guys would be like, that was the funniest thing.
Uh-huh.
But at the very end, it does have a clip of you just banging on the piano, and he's like dancing like that. So I was wondering if that did that go on for like 10 minutes and you cut it down and edit it, but like behind the scenes, was it a fiasco?
I think because I just did Smartless podcast.
Oh, did you?
And they mentioned this scene, and I think it's because David Cross started to go off the rails. Like
Yeah.
he just completely lost it, and Jason and Will are in the back laughing. But I was in such a nervous state back then. I was just like, keep going, keep going. I can't mess up. I'll lose my job.
Were you really like nervous even like in those moments?
So the whole first 2.5 seasons, I was a mess.
Was that just because it was like one of your first big gigs and you like
It
around
was.
such
I
great
was
talent and stuff?
Well,
like
I
that?
was dealing with that kind of like just not knowing what to expect being on a show and stuff like that. But I'd never been on a lot. I had never had.
Wow.
Really?
I never.
So you kind of went from 0 to 100 on this one.
And I remember thinking, do I need to take some of this food home? Because I don't know if I'm gonna have if there's gonna be food tomorrow.
Wow.
Like it was that sense of, I just didn't understand set life, and it was very serious about. I would go home and practice Buster in front of the mirror.
Which is
and
so
all this
funny
kind of
because it's
stuff.
like it's your job and you got to take it seriously, but obviously it's patently ridiculous. So.
ridiculous. But it was fun. I was just like, just keep playing.
Subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be faster. That's it.